Hello, hello, good afternoon, good day. My name is Christopher Palmer. In today's video, I'd like to share with you some SEO training. More so, I want you to learn SEO in 2021 by asking questions, by following along with me, by asking a question, and I'll walk through it with you step by step. So I do have a slight agenda for today, and one of the agendas is I want to showcase or answer a question that comes up quite frequently. And one of them that I get a lot of times is, hey, pick your tool, right? I have Semrush. I have Ahrefs. Do I really need to get another tool? Now, so that question is kind of fun, right? Because a lot of times what you'll find is one is really good at one particular aspect of your business, and other tools are really good at others. Now, when we're looking for the all-encompassing tool that can perform, really good at a lot of things, we start to lean towards one particular type of tool. But then there comes additives like keyword research tools, side tools, co-occurring word side tools, on-page SEO side tools. And it's always one of the things that I'm always looking at personally is, hey, I love Semrush. How can I utilize the asset that I already have to be able to, the big one for me, just to be blunt, is on-page, right? So how can I use Semrush to get the same result, if not better result, from, say, Surfer, right? The two tools that I use every day that I really like. This isn't a pitch or anything. I'm just saying. I'm always trying to just use Semrush, right? Because I'm cheap. I mean, I don't want 20 tools. I just want to go to one, be able to use it, and move on with my day, right? I can't be alone in this. I say these things to people. People, let's say I'm here and I talk to people here and they'll be like, just get the other tool. And I'm thinking to myself, that's like another $80 a month, dude. I'm not doing that. But anyway. So what one of the conclusions or one of the things that I came to, hey, Amit, how are you today? Why not use Ahrefs? And I'm answering questions today too. If you have any questions, feel free to throw them in, but I'm going to walk through a couple things. One of them is the image embeds. First is I want to showcase, I'm just playing with something to try to get a formula down so I could show people. And the formula is this. Hey, when I'm breaking down analyzation, and this is, I talked to a client 3 days ago and I said I'd make a video on how to match to the SERP, right? And I want to match to the SERP utilizing Semrush, and I just want to look at the data. We'll do that together. And then I had a couple people asking me, and this is why I'm waiting for questions. Again, this is an AMA, right? The picture, I made it in the picture. Along with that, I'll answer the questions, whatever you guys have, all right? But I want to share those two things. So this is one of the big ones, right? So let's say we're working on this, right? And one of the big things that I like here is that I can pull out these, I can pull out these co-occurring words. They call it NLP. I've seen tools called LSI. I've seen cool tools called LSA. Whatever. It doesn't matter. What other words pop up when I'm talking about a particular phrase or when I'm talking about a particular keyword or keyword phrase, right? Now, what I've been doing inside of here is, so inside of my keyword magic tool, so let's just say that I erased it too so people can't see what I was working on, right? So let's say that, what is this? Locksmith Denver, right? So Locksmith Denver. And what I'm finding here within the keyword magic tool is this. Not only can I go and take a look at the SERP for further analysis, but I can also see that, hey, by volume, when I'm looking inside of here, they're running through, this is the entire SERP, so the analyzation from SEMrush to here is so much larger. Here I'm looking at 10 pages, which is cool. Here I'm looking at the whole data set, right? So big difference. So then I started thinking, like, I talked to Bill Slosky not too long ago, right? And he said, how can these tools perform, exceptionally well when their only data set is what you choose, 5 domains, 10 domains. To have a true LSI of anything, you would need the whole kit and caboodle, right? To get the co-occurring words, to be truly relevant, you would need a bigger data set. And that's when I started really deep diving into Semrush, and I'm like, dude, there's got to be a way. There has to be. So this is what I'm looking at. I don't go looking too much anymore to see what people are doing or talking about or whatever, but what I found is over here. If I have my lead keyword name and I put it inside my keyword magic tool and I take a look over here, this is my co-occurring word set right here, or my LSI words. And to what varying degrees, right? And I like this. So then I started looking and mapping. Okay, so for the top, hey, in all people's opinions, right? This opinion, that opinion, it doesn't matter. I'll phrase it this way. One of the top on-page tools, right? So I like Kyle's tool too. But one of the tools. So I'm looking at these words and I'm thinking to myself, man, so the top 10 people are talking about this and these are their phrases, right? For this keyword. And then I come over here and I'm like, okay, well, these are matching up exactly and I'm getting the same amount. And it's like, okay, so I need to use the word CEO. I need to use the word jobs. And what I like about this too is if I search, like, here, come look at this. Like, here's another tip. I'm just waiting for questions if you're wondering. If you're like, hey, this is, what I'm getting at is this. I'm personally looking for a way to use a tool that I already have instead of having 2 tools. Why not just have one? And I'm trying to look at the differences and come up with a formula that I can utilize, because at the end of the day, I'm coming up with my optimization levels. And what I like about this is I can go right to the SERP here for my main keyword, and I can search and see. And when I'm talking about matching the SERP, I can put in Locksmith Denver, right? I can pop over here. I can bring this up. I can open another Semrush tool, which is SEO Quake. And I've shared this a million times. I'll pull this up. This is the top performer, right? I can match and mimic to this site, or I could use another formula that I like to use. I like to take the top 5 rankers, take all their page counts, add them all up, divide by 5. There's my word count, right? Then I like to go in and I like to see, well, how many optimized sections do they have? Meaning, when I pull this up, and this is for you, I did a talk with somebody, and they're like, what do you mean by match to the SERP? So that's what I'm explaining right now. So then when I look in here, is I need to figure out how many optimized sections do they have, right? And you need to go look at the top 5 is what I like to do. How many times are they using the exact phrase or a variation of the phrase inside of a key section, inside of a hot zone, inside of a section that matters, meaning a heading tag? How many times my primary keyword is Locksmith Denver? How many times are they putting it into a hot zone, right? Into a section, whatever you want to call it, right? Into a heading tag. How many times? And then I need to mimic that over to my page. And then the same goes for the amount of elements, right? And what I'm getting at is I'm able to then start pushing out another tool that I have to pay for every month. Because why? I have my whole tool set right here. I can use Semrush's SEO Quake for this. I can figure out, okay, I can figure out how many elements I need, meaning how many heading tags. So now my structure's set. I can figure out how many images. Okay, I need to get around this amount of images. I can figure out how many optimized zones they have by this right here. I can become semantically correct by typing in my primary keyword here. So I know, okay, my title, my H1, and my URL are going to contain this. And then I just scroll down to the bottom and pick one. Which one makes sense? Usually I like to use near me. So my first H2, which is semi-optimized, is going to be Locksmith near me, right? So H1 is this. My lead H2 is going to be Locksmith near me. Then the rest of my content. And then once I create my content, or I have a writer go and write it to the SERP of what I just said here, I'm figuring out, okay, The number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 ranker, one has 1,400, the other one has 1,000, the other one has 950, the next one has 1,300 words. I add up all those numbers, I divide them by 5. Here's my word count. And then I just walk right through the process. This is matching the SERP. This is what I call it. How many zones are there? How many of these zones are optimized? How many headers have the keyword in it, right? There's my structure, there's my layout, there's my matches. Once I have the content written, then I'm going back to the same thing. I pop right over here to Semrush's tool and I take a look. Locksmith Denver, right? 2-word phrase. I pop over here and then I need to figure out, well, how many times is he writing that on the page? Okay, perfect. Then once everything is done, once I'm optimized, I have my elements, I have my word count, I have my exact and my variations on the page. Then I need to go over to relevance. And just like when I talked with Bill and we were talking about this, and he just made it clear to me, hey, I need a bigger data set. Why not go to one of the biggest? Now for co-occurring words for relevance, because I have my optimization levels down pat. Optimization is the amount of exact match phrases and variations on the page to the SERP. How many do they have to me? Now I'm optimized. Now I need to get relevant. When we're talking about relevance, we're talking about LSI or co-occurring words. Where are they? Well, these guys got the data, you know, and I'm just thinking to myself, okay, the words that are in this list here that make sense, how can I add them into the content to make my content as relevant as possible? My camera moved. I kicked it. So, that's what I'm getting at. That's what I'm playing with. And what I'm trying to map out now is I'm looking at an on-page tool. Just for this example, I guess I'm looking at Surfer because these are the two that I use the most, right? And I'm looking to see, okay, this is what's being recommended over here based upon, 5 sites. You get what I'm saying? By the optimization level of 5 sites only. And then I can look over here and figure out, hey, well, here's the co-occurring words that are in the entire data set for this keyword. A lot more powerful. And then it's just, I'm talking through my equations and trying to figure out to myself, without having to click on each of these, I wish I could just figure out, I wish I could just figure out how many times they're utilizing these on each page. Then I would have a perfect equation. Anyway, that's people, I was asked that. What do you mean by matching the SERP? I just explained it. That's exactly what I mean. But I'm really here to answer any questions. I just ranked a new site in 15 days. Thank you. Glad to hear it. It's excellent to hear. What about an Amazon micro niche in 2021? I think wherever your passion lies is what you should chase. I think that whatever moves you in 2021, if you have your initial baseline of overhead expense that's taken care of, what I would work on and focus on is whatever interests you, right? So if it's an Amazon micro niche, go chase it and go find out. If it's rank and rent, go buy 5 domains, launch them, and see what happens. Whatever it is. So my best advice is once you have your baseline overhead taken care of, right, your bills, then do whatever is you're most passionate about, whatever intrigues you the most. That's what I would do, right? That's what I do. That is exactly what I do. All right. So, hey, Chris, greetings from France. Wow, we got all sides. We have India, we have France. Great to have you on. Great to see you. Thank you, Chris. You're offering great value in 2021. I'm trying. 17 people watching. Smash the like button. Marcos, you remember that song? You took the words right out of my mouth. I can't sing, but you know the song. But you did. You took the words directly out of my mouth. I was gonna say, hey, if I've helped you at all so far, please hit the like. I hate asking. You know what I really hate? I used to do it in the beginning of my talks, or I'll watch other videos, and the first thing they'll say is subscribe and like. And I'm like, wait a minute. I'm only 4 seconds into this video. I don't know if I like it, and I certainly don't know if I want to subscribe. You know, I don't know if I want to see more of this. I don't even know if I like this. Happy New Year, Chris. Great to have you, Emma. What's up from Toronto? We have Canada. We have France. We have the whole lineup. I should start like an SEO power team. You know, I thought about this. It came into my mind. I'm like, hey, gather up some of these key talents that I've came across that really know their stuff, and then we do like a big, like a case, not a case study, but a case study, right? Like we all pull together and like, okay, what are you good at? Okay, you're good at this. All right, you're good at that. Okay, you're good at on page. Good, you go do that, right? I watched a video on Steve Jobs last night, right? I'm indifferent, right, about one person, but what I really liked, and it said the best, and I started thinking to myself, man, you know, not to compare myself to Steve Jobs, but I liked within the movie what he said. He's like, the one guy was saying how, oh, I built the board. I built the, you know, I came up with the, you know, I was like feet on the pavement, building the board and doing everything. And he's like, yeah, but I'm the orchestrator, right? I really enjoyed that movie. You should go see it. It's a good one. Lots of love from Ireland. Dude, I'm everywhere. Well, no, you're everywhere. I'm just right here. I'll never forget when my dad, many years ago when I was living in Florida, he brought a disc, and I'll never forget when I first sat down with him, right? And he was on it because he was always what's new, what's next, and how do I get there first, right? I later heard this from another person that was, I learned where he got it from, right? But anyway, he had the disc, and I think it was like 100 hours of AOL or something, right? But I remember, and I'm like, I do remember that, you know, like you could talk to people, and I remember the computer, man, and it's just so cool how everything just advances. But anyway, can this SEO techniques be used to rank in a YouTube channel? I think that the dynamics of a YouTube channel are completely different, right? And that's another thing I want to talk about. I need something inside of this video that I want to break up into a video. So maybe that's what I'll talk about, because I was asked, I want to take one of the ideas or the thoughts from a past video where I was getting questions, either image embeds or finding YouTube SERPs that we can start gaining traffic for our brands, our businesses, or services. I really like the YouTube one. Maybe I'll dive deeper into that because I need a secondary video for another project. Oh man, and I have a conference, not a conference, but it'll be the first get-together that I'll ever be at. So I'm super excited about that. I have to make slides for that. But anyway, let's see if there's any questions. So, okay, I love anybody who starts this with this, right? But I don't know the question yet. Nothing against you, Marcos. I just always love this, right? But Google's John Mueller of 2021 Google SEO advice, core web vitals, page experience update, sites that are technically better will technical SEO have an advantage, right? Okay. I always feel that a site that is technically sound is going to always have a smidge of an advantage, right? I think that any person who is performing SEO or working with an SEO or anything, I mean, the process is always first. Is my site technically sound? I mean, this is first. And then as far as speed or paint or time to first byte or core web vitals, in my opinion, it's always going to be the same, right? If I go and I look and see who's winning, as long as I'm a little bit better than them, then I'm always going to be a little bit better than them. And that I follow that metric right down the line, starting with technical aspects and speed, flatness of site, how easy is it to get from one page to another? Can I limit the amount of clicks to get from one page to another? Is my site technically sound and speed? If their full content paint's 1.6, I'm loading that a second, right? Or whatever metric you want to look at. So as far as those core web vitals, I know there's a lot of people pumping out videos. I've seen them talking about it. Once any update occurs and I go and I look and I see who's winning in my niche, whatever their metric is, whatever baseline they're setting, I know that that's what I need to beat. Whether it's amount of pages, whether it's authority, whether it's amount of speed, whatever. There's your baseline. So I want to agree with you to a degree, Marcos, but I still feel that they're going to show us what is winning, and then we know what we need to get to and beat by just a smidge. Moving on. Ranking updates will continue. Yes, they will. There will be an SEO update that will help less SEO savvy sites such as passage indexing, rank. I don't think John specifically named these. Yeah, man, I've been hearing about this type of thing from the beginning of time. At the end of the day, exactly what I just said. Google is a closed system, right? They determine what is going to be shown. So there's always going to be a blueprint to what we need to map to, right? So irrelevant of what they do, right? They're always going to show their cards, always. It's called ranking. So as long as they're showing their cards, we're going to have the ability to optimize, search engine optimize. That's what we do, right? As long as I can see what is being rewarded, then no matter who comes to me, I can help optimize towards the SERP, which is all I do every time. You know, I know a million tricks, but at the end of the day, the process is the same. The process is who's winning and how do I get you there? And that's what all these tools do. What's the link gap, right? What's the keyword gap, right? What's your authority? Pages. How many pages? How many words are on the site, right? It's always, here's where you are, here's where you need to be. It's as easy as that. There's a lot in between there, but it's as easy as that. Anyway, I was listening to a podcast and I kept hearing them say the word I digress. So maybe I'll start using that. I digress. Let's move on. Thoughts for 2021. I have a lot of thoughts. I should be definitely not drinking rock stars and gallons of coffee throughout the day. But hey, no, I have a lot of thoughts. My main focus for me, the eye's always on the prize and mind's on the mission, right? So the overall objective is to give people the best information for the lowest cost, be seen and be known by as many people as possible. The next step is to start group coaching and come out with the best trainings for the best price, right? Who's got the best for the best price? That's me, right? That's the goal. That's the objective. So I want to be able to reach more people. I like the coaching I do one-on-one. I want to move to a larger model for a lower cost. So I could just reach more people and help more people. So what I'm thinking is either, I haven't decided yet, it's either going to be 2 hours so I can get enough people in there throughout the day, twice a week, or I'll do 4 hours once a week. I'm not sure yet. Like pick one day, this is my day for this. And then do something like, I don't know. I'm moving towards that. And then I've been lining up, people have been asking, hey, I thought you were coming out with this training, this training, and this training, and this training. Oh, I am. And I want to hit the market all at once. And that way, when I do a push and I try to get people into my group coaching, I can advertise everything at once. You see, you know, I had it up here. I don't know if I still have it. See this is Boss Baby, right? My son loves this cartoon. But with that being said, I was thinking to myself, there's this guy right here. His name's Bootsy Calico, but his saying is, he says, "Long game, sugar booger, long game." I thought that was, you know, that's genius, right? But it's all, I play long, right? I take my time. I'm not in a rush. I don't rush. You know, I've never found that to be helpful. Because what I've noticed is, you know, there could be a long time from one product to the next, one thing to the next, and then you'd be like, man, they came out of nowhere, right? So the time frame in between is always takes longer to you, but not to the marketplace, right? So that's my outlook. That's my goals for 2021. Thank you for asking. So I love Chris gets pumped up and says everything, or when he says anything. Yeah. May I know your views, tips on recovering from a Google update? Yeah, man, that is a powerful question, right? That is a excellent question. Again, if you have questions, feel free, go ahead and ask. Or if I start seeing more questions, I'll answer them faster, right? We could do lightning. That's what I always want to do. I go on with Craig and we'll talk. And I want to get through them as fast as possible, but we need to extend it for an amount of time. So if you guys can keep coming, I'll answer anything, right? Anything. Anything you got, I'll answer it. Views for the Google updates. No matter what, we have to always keep in our minds what Google's objective is. The objective is to provide the best answer to the end user. So, with that being noted, whatever update that they do, doesn't matter. Whether it's a core vitals, okay, it's speed. They want to serve the customer faster. Why? Because people's attention spans are getting lower and lower, so they want to get it to them fast. What's your answer? To speed that up even more, they've made what is called enhancements. Enhancements are snippets and search engine result and adding videos and snippets, and they're breaking down the videos for people so people don't even have to click off. Remember, their objective is always to keep people right there, give them the best answer as fast as possible. That's their goal. That's their core mission, right? So with that being said, when we're talking about websites and updates, it's always going to be the same. I don't care what it is. That's why when people ask me, I'm like, I don't even know, and I don't care because I already know what it's about. It's always about how can Google help the end user, the non-SEO, right? Just a normal person that needs an answer to a query, the best, fastest way. How can they serve their end customer? For an SEO, the updates are always the same. How's my page going to be better, faster, more user-friendly? What's the content? How's the content displayed? And what are the metrics that are considered or deemed less dodgy that I'm doing that I shouldn't be doing? It's always the same. Content, links, speed. It's pretty much, no matter what the update is, it's always about the end user making a better user experience. Always. From the beginning of time. Every single one. Panda, Penguin, Bert, freaking, all of them. All of them. So to answer your questions, my opinion on the update is who's winning, what are they doing to serve their users better than you? And you know what you're doing, right? My structure isn't on point. My site isn't quite as fast as it needs to be. My images are too big. It could be a million things. Go and look at the winner. That's a non-authoritative domain because they could be there for a number of reasons, right? If it's a YouTube video or Facebook or something like that, I'm looking for normal sites. What are they doing that you're not? There's your answer. So that's my objective or my opinion on updates. And I love you. Don't ever take what I say. You know, I'm not, what's the word? I'm not like yelling or anything. Like, I'm not mad. Anyway, moving on. Next, we have Marcos, and he says, eyes always on the prize, mind always on the mission. Love it. That's right. That's right. That's straight. That's a Chris Palmer Sr. quote right there. Always. Dude, my dad was so insane. He used to make me wake up in the morning and run. Like, jog in the morning time. Because his objective was, remember, Chris, faster, stronger, smarter. Faster, stronger, smarter. Faster, stronger, smarter, right? And no matter what you're doing, it needs to be working in that direction. Dude, I think back to myself, man, this is madness. But, man, that's so, such a powerful way to instill values, from an imperfect man to try to instill into your son the best opportunity possible by instilling those types of values and core values inside of you. You know, eyes on the prize, mind on the mission. Faster, stronger, smarter. Faster, stronger, smarter. Eyes on the prize, mind on the mission, right? These are the concepts that were consistently pushed to me as a kid. And you want to know what's funny too, and I hear, and now as being a father and I'm teaching, I always think to myself that, yeah, right now he doesn't understand, but when he becomes older, or she, when they become older, they always hear you in the back of your mind. And I know this because I can always hear my father telling me stuff, right? When I'm doing something, or I go into a situation, or I'm talking with somebody, I can always hear these lessons playing in my mind. It's very interesting. But yeah, I like it too. Moving on. When talking about domain age, does that mean that the time it was parked or live, or the first time it was seen in the Wayback Machine, for example, cheers? Okay, so when we're talking about the domain age, now registrar, or when it was registered, right? When it was registered by Google, and some registrars carry, like GoDaddy will carry the age. Now, Wayback Archive is a lot different than Google. They might be one and the same kind of in a way, but not really. Okay. So I wouldn't, that's like, apples and oranges kind of. So in any case, it's whenever you register the domain, that is your domain age. Now, when it's cached or when it's seen by Google is an entirely different animal. And then when it changes hands, or if it was dropped, it could still hold the age, but if it was dropped, it's been reset, right? And this has been often debated, but I have found from buying expired domains and trying trust me, if there was a trick or a tactic, I've tried it, right? I've tried them all. Anything that I've heard, if I was reading in a forum, if I was in Google, like somebody just said a little something, I went out and tried it, trust me. I do it today. I do it all the time. I'll be listening to people and they'll slip and they'll say one little thing that'll get me on a rabbit hole of information, right? And I'll be like, oh, wait, well, what are they talking about? Trying to figure out something, right? So with that being said, back to the registrar, indexing, authority, domain age, it all starts and stems at the registrar. Has the domain been dropped or passed is the true question here. And the actual domain age you can check pretty much anywhere. So domain age and cache are two different things is what I'm getting at. Hopefully that helps you. Moving on. All right, so eyes on the prize. Same here, Chris. That's right. Always. That's it. Eyes on the prize and your mind on the mission. That's it. That's the only objective. You're always looking forward. And there's always, and then I hear this other saying that I've heard before, is sometimes you need to take 2 steps back so you could see what's so far ahead. Isn't that so true? When you're looking at a big, tall building, you look up, all you see is nothing, right? It's just building. But if you just take 2 steps back, take a look, you could see all the way to the top, right? So I think that that's powerful in thinking, and self-talk is so important, and I think that it's something that, it's not something that can be taught, but I think what you tell yourself in your thoughts, because I've seen this in the past, and, having different partners throughout life, if the self-talk was off, meaning, the self-talk is, I'm depressed, your attitude dictates your performance, right? That's another one that I've heard in my past, but, your self-talk and what you're telling yourself here dictates everything and all of your actions and everything that happens. And this is so true, so true. That's why I'll see guys even pitching stuff on YouTube or talking about stuff or teaching stuff and they're going in all these directions. That's bad self-talk. You know what I mean? So anyway, I digress. Moving on. Chris's dad. Yes, Sergeant Palmer. Well, actually, that's actually an interesting statement that you said that. Actually, my dad's brother, and his name's Jim, he was a, what is it, a major? Not a general, not a sergeant, not a corporal. Yes, a major in the Army. So that's interesting. There is some of that in the bloodline here, He retired as a major. So I think that's pretty far up. I'm not sure. It was years. It was like his whole life he was in there. But not my father. He was, our views on this are two different things because I was considering going and joining because my uncle was in the military, right? And he had a great life. But, I was definitely guided away from that. He said, no. That's not, That's not for you, Chris. Trust me. It's just not you. It's not for your kind of person. I was like, okay, I'm gonna trust you on this. Moving down the list here. I think everybody inside of them wants to serve. They just want to serve, right? Whether it's people, whether it's their entire nation, whether it's their family. I think that it's instilled into people. So even as a young guy, when I wanted to join the military, I always wanted to serve in some way, whether it was military, whatever. So yeah, I think that's just an interesting step. I'm getting far off. I'm including my personal thoughts into SEO, which is interesting. Sometimes I get off on this, get off on it, but I mean, like I get off on a tangent is what I mean. Anyway, what's the best tip you can give to gain a featured snippet? Now this is an interesting. Here's what I found with featured snippets. Let's go take a look. So here's one of the tips, and the easiest way for me to describe it is having the same feeling within the text. So the context needs to match. You need to be on the first page, but having the same feeling. And the best way to showcase this is if you've seen the Google NLP API tool demo. They make this so simple. Give me one moment. I have to get a bottle of water. I'm so parched. Give me one moment. I'll be right back, and we're going to talk about NLP. It'll take me 2 seconds. All right. Okay. Sorry about that. So, Google NLP, and I was just thinking as I was walking to myself, another good one was your life is a piggy bank, and every little action and everything you do is adding to the piggy bank. A good way to visualize. All right. So, if you take a look at this, I want to use the Google NLP demo. That's what I want to see. Try it for free. So here's what I mean. All right. Now, if we go look for, I don't know if I still have it, but I'll say this. What I did, now it's not popping anymore, but what I did is I went in and I grabbed what was showing inside of here. This is just what I did, and this is something that I've done publicly, so I don't mind sharing it publicly. But what I did was this. If you're trying to target a snippet, first and foremost, you need to be on the first page, okay? Secondly, you know that when they're pulling stuff out, they generally pull from the very bottom, right? Or right from underneath the first H2 tag, right? So generally it's going to be this, or they're going to pull down here. But I've seen it scattered, okay? So don't take that into consideration. But when you're writing out your content, make sure that the primary keyword is in one of the headers, and they're always going to take from the content that's below. But that's not the big tip. The big tip is this. If you're targeting, you need to be on the first page. And secondly, whatever the tone or whatever here, let me take a look. Let me see if it lets me in here. I think I've used this too much. Whatever the feeling of the text is, I can't remember how to get into here, but it's a good way to visualize it, which is why I wanted to use it. And I was just dragging it over and trying to figure out what is the tone. Like, is this... man, I want to show you visually. Here, let me see if I can do the Google NLP demo. That's the sentiment. Okay. This is pulling out the entities. And what we're really looking at is the sentiment, all right? But this is what I have found to be the most helpful. So this is what I mean right here. So when we're looking at this score, I don't know why I can't find it, but the content that's on the page, if there's already a snippet that you're trying to target, first you need to be on the first page. Secondly, the tone or the way that the content is, the magnitude in the score needs to match what is currently there. If there's currently already a snippet, you want to make sure that that sentiment is matching. And what I found is if you're on the first page, you have a higher probability of getting in there. As far as any tricks or anything along those lines, you know, I think it's a matter of having the best well-written, which is easily taken. And that's all I've done in the past is match that sentiment and make sure that it's mapping, like, and I'm on the first page, and I've been able to grab particular SERP enhancements. So I don't know if that gives you the, you know, people always think by step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. That's how people like format. That's why those types of posts do so well, because that's how people's brains work. Like, here's step 1, here's step 2, here's step 3. So if I had to break it down like that, it's first objectively getting on the page and matching the SERP for my on page. Next is, what's the tone? What's the feeling of my content? Does it match what's already performing if there's a search enhancement? So meaning, go to the SERP, copy and paste it, pull it over to a tool and take a look and see, am I matching the sentiment? Am I matching the feeling? And I can almost guarantee you, and putting it right underneath a heading tag, whatever you need, you'll jump in there. Hopefully that gives you the step-by-step. But again, Google's the one pulling it out. So I think that optimizing for it, if you show me a person that says they can optimize for it, and you give them 10 tests, and okay, if you can optimize for it, then show me, right? It's still going to be hit or miss. You see what I mean? So that's my best advice on that. You can't optimize for a snippet. I mean, you can optimize for it, but to guarantee that you're going to get it is going to be very hard. So let me retract that. You can optimize for it, but to gain it, you still have to be on the first page or top of second. I've seen those. And it still has to fit that feeling of the content. Hopefully that helps you. All right. Let me see here. So, hey, Chris, you said we should do another wave of citations for our service pages, but how do we avoid duplicate citations when changing the NAP? You're not changing the NAP. The only way you'd be changing the NAP would be as if you have a whole new location. And if you have a new location, then you probably have a new GMB. And if you have a new GMB, then I would have a new site. When I'm talking about waves of citations, what I'm talking about is if I have a main site, I'm taking over, or I'm trying to flood a particular area, then I'm going to be sending more citations to the internal pages, right? It's still the same business. It's still the same phone number. You get what I'm saying? The only thing that I'm changing is the description and the link from the citation to the internal page. Now, if we're talking about, hey, I'm in Florida, I have another verified listing in Georgia, right? Then I would have a GMB and a whole nother asset set up. You get what I mean? That's the best approach in my opinion. It's always a better approach to have one asset, one location, and then try to blanket that surrounding area. You know, I'm always trying to set up one, at least if it's a 5-page site or a 6-page site, or maybe even a 10-page site. You know, I have my main content, my location, and then one supporting piece of content for a surrounding neighborhood underneath that, perfectly fine. But if I'm building out, you're changing the description, you're changing the internal link. This is, duplicate content first and foremost doesn't matter, but secondly, for indexation and having all of these extra citations seen, that's why we're spinning and we want to change the content. It's not duplicate content. It's, hey, I want Google to take into consideration more of these citations, because not only am I getting, not only do I have a Google My Business validated entity, right? And we know this because they give us a machine readable entity ID. This is a validated entity in this location, AKA a GMB. I create a website that's about that service, about these products this is my GMB. I wrote about my products, I wrote about my services, I have posts regarding it. I got a location, it's verified. I have a website that's mimicking exactly what I'm talking about here. The products, the services, the coupons, the news events, everything. It's mapped perfectly. And then I'm building my citations as digital references. Hey, my name's Chris Palmer, and I'm here. Here's my verified entity. Here's my website, and here's where I service. Here's my products. Here's my services, and here's where I service my locations. So hopefully that helps you. And this is another step. I talked with a gentleman yesterday, and he was trying to come to this outlook. But if I have a property, if I have a website, right? This is my homepage. When you first set up a campaign, let's say you're a photographer in pick a city, Miami, right? This is my homepage. When you first set up your campaign, what are you doing? You're going to probably run your citations, right? You're going to probably do a press release targeting either brand and or your brand plus a keyword, usually brand plus keyword, and then you're going to send links, right? And then you'll also have your social profiles. This goes to the home page. Now, I have a new location or another location that I service. This is a location page. Underneath that are my cities. So let's say that this is a city and this is a city. But this location page or placeholder or category is probably going to be the state. But for this page right here, underneath is all the little towns. Here's my state page, or however your site's structured, right? You can structure it any way you want. This is just an example. For when I'm setting up, I'm following the same process. And here's why. Google ranks pages, not sites. So if I have a homepage, my homepage is getting traffic. It's generally, for old SEOs, it's their most powerful page. I'm following the same process because I know that Google's ranking pages, not sites. Every site is remember, every page you do, you're optimizing, right? Every page that you do, you're sending links to. Every page, if you're in local, why would you look at that page any different than any other? I hope that makes sense to you. Now, there's a caveat to this. You have your top 6 that knows that you're a validated entity. Now, I'm not going to send all these extra signals. For those top 6, Foursquare, Apple, Bing, Monta, MapQuest, Yelp, your top big ones, I'm not going to reissue those to other areas. Why? Because the homepage is probably optimized, or the first page is going to be optimized. Those 6, those most powerful citations are going to be optimized to the primary location, right? Secondary locations get secondary niche specific citations. I'm not going to reissue my top citation sources to my secondary locations. It just doesn't make sense. But I am going to build other citations. Why? Because it's part of the process, and I know that Google is ranking the page, not the whole site. I hope that makes sense. All right, moving down the list here. All right, so we talked about that. What's your view on blogging versus rise of video? I've seen this debated. The rise on video has been rising and rising. Go look at the metrics for YouTube. They've been increasing forever, but it's always been at a threshold of hundreds of millions of people, right, for quite some time now. So with that being said, video isn't emerging. It's been just steadily growing bigger and bigger and bigger, right? Now, with that being said, I always think, no matter what, that people are going to need answers to a query. This is written text. Some people are visual, and for some SERPs, I think that having the ability to have a video or to teach or to show an answer in a different way where it's accessible, meaning a SERP that allows YouTube videos, it's good to have a video. Now, some people like to listen, depending on the context of your service or product or what you do. If it makes sense, then maybe audio is the way to go. Some industries, you can use a combination of all, so whatever's best for you. But you always have to remember that people are always looking for text. People like to see videos, and some people just want to learn from listening. So to answer your question, my view on blogging and my view on YouTube videos, I feel whatever fits into your daily life that you can do to generate more people into your particular circle is going to be beneficial. But for ranking within Google, you still need text. So blogging can certainly be a helpful aspect, or web pages that are dedicated to a service or a location or whatever you're doing is always going to be, hey, you got to have a site and you got to have pages that are optimized, right? I don't think that's going anywhere anytime soon. Now, as an added bonus, right, I think some video is very helpful. So my answer is I would do whatever fits into your business. For me, I like a little bit of everything, but I very much dislike writing. It takes me a very, very long time. I did a video. I know SEO like the back of my hand, right? I did a video writing an on-page SEO factors thing. I recorded it live. It took me like 4 hours. The post was only 1,300 words long. So I want you to, so this, it's whatever is good for you, my friend, right? It's so much easier for me to answer questions or make a video or have an idea and make a video, So it's difficult though. This can be stressful as well too. But not stressful. It could be hard work too. Just as hard as, because then you're going in, you're looking to see, okay, people viewed this, they like this part, okay, I'm going to chop this out, I'm going to clean this up. Oh, I slipped and said the S word, oh man, I got to block that out. Oh, I showed something I shouldn't, I got to freaking cloud that out. Like, it gets a little bit hectic, but you never know. All right, so any cloud hosting for 5 domain under $50, my hosting expired. I always, if you're looking for hosting, you can go cloud. If you see some of my domains, I like HostGator's cloud because it's cheap, it works good, it's pretty fast. Aside from that, for any of the other projects that I've been running, I've been using RankNerd, or RackNerd. I'm not promoting them, I'm just saying that this is what I've been using for Linux servers. They're fair and they're in Los Angeles and they're cheap, right? I don't go here, I go over here. So I go to lowendbox.com and then I just pick Los Angeles, wherever you want. I just come in here for my VPSs. For cloud, I generally use HostGator. I like their support. They're there all the time if I have any issues. Plus, I have a little bit of a deal or a rapport with them. I've been working with them, doing bounty stuff. I wouldn't say I was the top, not by far the top guy, but I've been working with them a long time. So I just use their stuff, So there you go. I like them, so that's why I was promoting them. All right, moving down the list here. Alex says, our business is local service area business with no physical locations. When I verify GMBs in other cities, should I be setting them as local area service GMBs, or should I still have an address listed? So that's up to you. If it's a service area business, service area business. If you're worried about citations, when you're creating your citations, you can use a zip code. This has, I've been asked this so many times. If you're a service area business, you're a service area business, right? But you can always talk about within your content, within your citations, you can always talk about the areas that you service and what you do and where you're at. But also, if you want to go a step further, your business has to get mail somewhere. You get what I mean? So for citations or anything along those lines, you can use a virtual office. I'm not saying for validation or verification. But if you need, or if you feel that, hey, I want to have a physical address in this location for distribution, that's up to you. But a lot of people have service area businesses. They create their service area business. When they create citations or press releases, they use the zip code for the area that they service or the areas that they service, all the areas. It's up to you. You're the business owner, so it's up to you. My Gmb got suspended many times. Can you help me fix it? I'm not sure what you're doing. Oh, Sign Commanders, my friend. Thank you. I appreciate that. He gave me a thank you with a little pear or something. I'm not sure what that guy is, but thanks, brother. Appreciate that. It's always cool to get, it's cool to get little tips, It took away from my, oh, I see. All right, so I'm moving up the list. So this person, Wasim Akram, says he got suspended. How do I fix it? Well, I've made a video on this before. In my opinion, could be fact, could just be from what I see, but I feel that there is a trust score. So, and it all starts with how, when you first sign up for your GMB, was it a verified account? Was it an aged account? Is it an account that you've always used? Is the Gmail old? Is it connected to the website, right? All of this plays into this, the trust factors. The next piece of it is your niche. When you're signing up for that, your niche, then making changes or things that you're doing. Also the competition levels within your niche. Are people reporting you for any little thing? So my advice is take a look at what you've been doing. Even if you think that it's on the up and up, I would really take a look, a hard look, and figure out, because I've helped niches all over the place, right? I could say probably 100 different people, 100 different companies with thousands and thousands of locations, right? In the course of helping people and working with different companies, I've probably looked at 1,000 different GMBs, right? With that being said, I can, the amount of times that we've gotten suspended were for things that I knew exactly what I was doing, and I knew exactly what to stop. So take a hard look at whatever you're doing and stop it. So hopefully that helps you out. All right, so Happy New Year's, everyone, to you, Chris. Thank you, Sign Commander. Sign Commander says, now do you run different phone numbers? Depending on the locations, right, Sign Commander? So if I have different verified GMBs, I'm going to use different phone numbers, right? Each verified GMB is going to get its own number. Now, it could be mapped back to my number utilizing a service, like a call hippo or something like this, right? Whatever you want to use. But if I have a verified entity and I have a website that I'm establishing, let's say we're doing rank and rent, or say that we want to take over the whole SERP for a particular niche or industry, right? I want my results to show up. I'm going to get verified listings with different phone numbers, a slightly verified name. I'm going to create a website, and on that website, it's going to talk about the location, different phone number. When I'm creating citations, it's going to follow that same, whatever the NAP is, it's going to follow, right? So, yes, the answer is yes, I would use a different phone number if I have different verified GMBs. I don't want to be considered the same entity. I want to be considered multiple entities. All right, so hopefully that helps you out. Mike McCurr, can we ask questions? Yes, absolutely. You definitely can, Mike, please. So here, let's take this up. We'll pin your message. So Mike asks, and I pinned it, can you ask questions? And the answer is absolutely. I want you to. Please ask questions. Yes. So here, let's come over here. Let's clear this. Let's format this. Let's make it white. Let's come down here to red. We'll go here. There you go. Huh? Here we are. Huh? Right? I got to get one of those wiggly things. What are they called? To be honest with you, I was really contemplating getting a Jamboard, but then I looked at the price and I was like, maybe I won't. I was thinking to myself, man, there's a lot of other things that I could purchase for, $2,000, $1,500. So yeah. All right. So Shen says, hello, is it possible to manipulate Google autocomplete? If yes, how? Do I think that there's a way? Sure. And if you're asking how, then it's going to take, well, for one, I think that you can definitely manipulate it with mass amounts of users performing particular searches that are in benefit to you. And I do think that over the course of time that it will change the auto-suggest. Now, in lower competitions, you might be able to get this off, but for big keywords that are getting thousands of searches and thousands of metrics that are coming in, it's going to be very, 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 very difficult. And then next off of that is why and how will that benefit you, right? You know, I this happens to me all the time, right? I love the tips and the hacks and all that kind of stuff, right? You know, the tricks. But at the end of the day, I think that focusing more on the things that are high impact, meaning content and building links and building out your network and gaining traffic from a magnitude of sources is going to be the best driver, right? So even, you know, I worked with a place called Swans, right? They are a stationery company. And their business, I talked to her maybe 2 days ago, right? She came to me, we set up a campaign, and this is all leading back to focus on the fundamentals. You know, it's a stationery company for one. It's very small. But by her creating a piece of content, written content, based around the stuff that she does, but my aim for her was target the people who buy your stuff. Who's buying it? You know who comes to your store. You know who's been buying off you online, right? Make content based around the people that come and how you can service them, right? Which she did. Then she literally took that content and was paying to post it, right? Facebook. I think she did. Any case, she paid to post it. A year later, her entire business has tripled just by focusing on the fundamentals. Fundamentals being build content, build links to that content, get people to the content, right? In the most simplest form. So, and this all stems from like autocomplete isn't part of, for me anyway, it's just not part of the process, right? You know, my only objective is to take a person that's here and get them digital and get them to the finish line as fast as possible. And then my favorite is get somebody that knows absolutely nothing, that has a great business, that has a great service, right? And is getting outcompeted by somebody who knows the digital landscape a lot better, but their service is nothing compared. Their product is not as good, and their customer service or satisfaction levels are nowhere near as good, you see? But they're getting beat on digital. It's a very simple process for me, and that's where I really like to help people right there. You know, hey, you get somebody, they've been in business forever, they're just not digital, let's get them over here. And then you start looking at the competitors, and the competitors are flybys. Very, very helpful. I'm getting a blinking thing on my camera that says, no card. It's really big. Really very distracting. But anyway, what I'm getting at, Mike, here is, brother, I'd focus on the highest impact, most important things. Don't chase after this kind of thing, you know. I want to see people succeed. But it is fun to play with stuff. Don't get me wrong. Anyway, any 100% way to earn $20 per day? Yeah. But I cannot, anything that I've done in the past that will get you to that mark quickly, always takes upfront investment. A couple people, and I still get trickles of traffic. You know, I've always performed SEO, but my goal, one of the leading ways that I started to get people into for me to do SEO was Instagram, right? So I would manage campaigns, and everybody that had a business or was doing Instagram, it was a side note to their website. And my goal was, hey, get in here so I could help them there, right? Because that's was my main focus. But I became very good over here at Instagram. With that being said, earning $20 a day. You know, I don't know how the landscape has changed, but I used to use this thing called Crack Revenue. They might have changed their name. I think it's just down the Crack now. I've used a lot of them. Las Polos, all these affiliate networks, right? But what I used to do is I had basically a Python script that we put out on a VPS, and we went out and we created 500 different accounts. On those 500 different accounts, what we were doing was following and unfollowing people and getting the friends. Once we became friends, and we would send them comments from each of the accounts, right? We were one comment to each person. We were trying to blanket niches, right? The long story short is this. An easy way to make your $20 a day is sign up for something that pays $1 a sign up, right? This is easy to do. Get your accounts, load them into your bot or load them into your script. I don't know, it's been a long time, but the easiest, fastest way for me was doing that. You know, because I already had the systems in place to do the likes and the follows and do all this stuff for the client. And then I just was like, okay, what if I get my own? I stumbled into this, by the way. What if I had my own accounts and we were sending out these offers? And we were getting $1 a sign up. And I just, you know, if you're looking for $20 a day, botting within social media can be lucrative. It's cheap to start up, and that's some investment advice for you. If you're only looking for 20 a day, the first thing is add a 0, right? Shoot for the moon, and then that's an easy way to do it. So hopefully that helps you, because if you're only trying to do 20 a day, I'd go right to social media. It's very simple. Anyway, how would you do an internal linking structure on a website with 20,000 pages? Well, that's very interesting. Well, what I would be doing is I'd be first looking at pruning some of these pages. Are all 20,000 pages significant to your business, or getting at least 50 visits a month? And let's assume that all of them are valuable to your business, and they're all driving traffic, and they're all a valuable asset on your website. For a site this large, internal linking, one of the first things that I would do is I'd be looking for an element that was site-wide. So at least I would be able to get some type of structure going. I would definitely start with something that was site-wide that would internally link them site-wide. That would be the very first, easiest, fastest way to do something. I'd probably go header, site-wide header link of some sort. Aside from that, maybe you have a sidebar or something on the side that you can internally link all pages. And then what I would be doing is focusing on higher levels of internal linking, going to the pages that matter the most. Meaning, if I have 20,000 pages, there's probably some core pages that receive the most traffic, and these are my most competitive. These are our most valuable pages, our highest converting pages. These are the pages within the other pieces of content that I would be sending links to. Now, all of this advice has to come with a grain of salt, because I've never had a site that was 20,000 pages, right? So I've had 1,000 pages. I've had 2,000 pages. Let me think. I've probably had, not 10,000. We could say 1,000 page or 2,000 page site I've had. And this was breaking down into small little neighborhoods, small little towns for a particular area. And that's what we were doing. Our main focus was getting as many internal links going to the pages that mattered as possible. And then we had site-wide footers. So everything was linked from the door. Anyway, moving down the list. Hopefully that helps you. But a 20K site, I don't have anything like that. So there could be a better way. I don't want to lead you down the wrong direction. So I hope that helps you. How will you run waves of citations if you just have one location but service neighboring towns? won't that be a conflict with the NAP being one thing and the new locations something else? Now again, Travis Phillips. So if you're in, okay. So all right, let's draw it out. Let's do it quick and easy and painless. So if I have my main property, okay, and off of this property, I have my location. Let's just say that I'm in Florida, okay? And then I have all these little cities or towns or municipalities, however you want to do it, right? If I'm building my first wave here of citations, the next wave would go here, because all of this is internally linked, and so is this. The only goal here is to get more citations on the board. And when I'm saying waves of citations, I just want people to look and say and see that you can build more. You know, you can get more indexed. You can get more seen. A local ranking signal is a digital reference. An NAP, whether it's structured or unstructured, from another business or directory or site, is a positive to your business. And then what's even better is I like to look for unique opportunities for building these citations. Unique opportunities can be a plethora of different ways, right? I've seen all different types of things on that. I won't get into that, but this is what I mean. And duplicate content, a name, address, phone number, or a citation is duplicate content. When you first build, let's take away the waves section. Let's say, okay, we're not building waves. But what do you think when you build your first initial batch of 100 or 200 is? It's duplicate content, right? You're probably taking your description from your GMB and using your same NAP and you're duplicating it over and over. Your first wave, you may have not even been spinning the descriptions to get higher indexation, right? So I think just shifting that thought process, and I think you'll be on your way, buddy. All right, so let's go on. Negative SEO. I'm a small business with big boy competitors. When someone links to your photo to a pointless, crappy page and link back, how are they using this as a negative SEO? Any ideas? Well, you know, a lot of people, what I'll notice is they'll hot link or they'll send links and they'll send a lot of traffic through a photo. You know, I just utilizing a lot of resource and slowing down your server. Obviously, I'd probably shut down the hot link portion of things. Also, you know, co-citation's real. So whether it's photos and or content being utilized on dodgy sites, co-citation I do believe exists, and I do feel that it's can affect your overall ranking over the course of time. So just the simple fact of a horrible site containing your content or imagery, or, you know, even if it's built into the schema, could over time, if it's done at a scale high enough, be detrimental to your business. So whatever you're seeing, as long as it's on low levels, I'd probably overlook it unless it's hurting you directly. But then after that, if you're seeing one, then I'd really start looking and seeing how you can nip that in the butt. Whether you're watermarking, whether you're doing something that can deter this type of activity. But generally for images, it's all about the hot link and pushing the traffic. So hopefully that helps you out. Drew says, good talk. I ordered page domains from Legit and they were flagged by Google as fraudulent. Can you really buy legitimate age domains? So I ordered domains from Legit and they were flagged by Google as fraudulent. So you ordered age domains from Legit. Well, I think that's an interesting concept. I'm not sure. Well, Drew, I personally wouldn't buy them from there. I mean, and there could be, you know, there could be any reasons of why that happened. But generally, if I'm buying an aged or an expired domain, I'm finding it myself. Something I've been playing with, it's not the fastest or most efficient way, is I really like Domain Gatherer, so I could go to expireddomains.net. I could gather a whole list of keyword-containing keywords, put it in the Domain Gatherer, see my metrics, and then move on from there to do more of analysis for anchor text profiles. So I can't pinpoint exactly why that would have happened. It could just be the provider or the supplier. But yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. But I would just go out and find them yourself and get them, you know. Also, I think my good friend Craig, I think he works with a company. I think they might, I have never used them before, but I think they might have some stuff that's pre-vetted, you know, or he wouldn't be pumping it, you know, he wouldn't be promoting it. All right, so, hey Chris, think about redirect links from Google backlinks. Yeah, I've seen them before. I don't think that it's a viable. I've seen it. I cannot attest to a positive ranking increase from utilizing this type of activity. Maybe in the short term, but I don't know about as a long-term strategy. John, best tools for internet marketing. All right. So Bahard Maurer says, sir, I'm published my post, and this post is direct page 2 by 2 day wait. Check this link, and my post is removed from Google, and sometime de-indexed my new post, and sometime I'm sorry, my friend. I cannot understand. Unfortunately, I can't make out what you're asking me. You know, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. I have no idea what you're speaking about. Like, I have no idea what this says. I'm sorry, dude. Hey, Chris, you forgot my message? Did I? Well, I'm sorry about that. Above? What's your name? Abdul? Okay, let's go see what Abdul asked. I didn't mean to miss you. Does domain transfer affect SEO? It can. Man, Abdul, I don't know where you are if I missed you. I don't see you, dude. Oh, here we are. My local, okay, so you got hit by the update. I haven't done changes in it. What do you suggest, on page or off page first? Well, yeah, you haven't made any changes. You've been waiting. It's been a decent amount of time since this has changed. I'm sure you were tracking, or at least you have something within a tool where you're tracking and looking and seeing, you know, who your competitors are, who's beating you now, and what changed. So one of the things that I would go in and I would do is I would go take a look at who's winning, right? And then take a look at their on-page. See the kind of phrases that they're using. Primarily looking at their heading tags and the keywords that they're focused on, right? What you'll notice is being hit was more so the amount of keywords that you're now ranking for, which then led to maybe a decrease in rank. You know, so what I'm getting at is I would better optimize for specific keywords for your on-page, right? Instead of trying to pull in as many keywords as possible. Aside from that, go take a look at their anchor text profiles for your industry, for your niche. Go take a look at their links. Go take a look at their anchor profiles. And I can bet you, right? A friendly bet. I can friendly bet that your anchor text profile is wildly different than theirs. And the one property that I've, I guess, managing or looking at consistently that had a significant drop was due to they were ranking for a bunch of keywords. It's been limited. So what I did is I went in and I took a look. This is what I did. I can only speak on what I was worked on and what helped me. So what I did was I went and I looked at the leading competitors. When I looked and I saw it, I noticed that they were pinpointing and they were focused really primarily on one keyword. I also noticed that the content difference of what was being rewarded was much lower. So meaning I had a page with 2,600 words on it. What was winning was like a 730 word article that was hyper focused, and that followed. Like number 1 ranker, then not number 2, which I was like, that's okay. Content deserves diversity. I looked at 3, 4, 5. I looked at all of them. They had lower amounts of content. The whole SERP changed. And then I went in and I started looking at backlinks. And I was like, well, in past updates, it was Web 2s, it was this, it was that. But then what I noticed was my anchor text profile being primarily, like all these types of variations of keywords within my anchor text profile. I took a look and I noticed that they were hyper-focused on brand anchor text. And my anchor text profile ratio was way different. We were focused on multiple keywords. I wasn't performing anything, but that's what we started gearing towards. We've been rising in rank ever since. We changed a little bit of the on-page to focus on one primary keyword. We're starting to rise back up, and then I started adjusting the sites that we had that I had access to. I started adjusting anchor text profile, and we are noticing an increase in rank. So the main takeaway here is see who's winning. Take a look at the content, the length of content. What's the content based around? I can almost assure you that if it's changed in your SERP, that they're hyper-focused on a particular keywords. And then I'd start looking at the anchor text profiles. Anchor text. Hopefully that helps you. That's what it was for me. It could be different for you. Take it with a grain of salt, but that's what helped me. Hopefully it helps you. Blessings to you, Abdul. Sorry for missing you. Your thumbnails are sick. I hope that's a good thing. Appreciate it. Thank you, man. Yep, never a problem. All right. So, let's come over here. Digital. First, I want to see how we're doing here. So let's go to an incognito. But I want to make this, I was talking to, I won't say her last name, but her first name is Crystal. I was talking to a young lady and her name was Crystal. And she wanted to know, and I'm gonna do this because I want to make something dedicated off of what I was talking about. And she wanted to know, Chris, what the heck exactly do you mean by creating YouTube videos? Like, go more in depth with the YouTube videos for targeting SERPs that have the enhancement, right? Like, literally take me through the process. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the setup like a normal video, and then I'm going to walk through this process, and then we're going to end this live. But that's what I'm going to discuss now. So if you're interested, stick with me. If not, and you found value so far in the AMA, thumbs up. But that's what I'm going to cover right now. Okay, but first, I need to pull up a digital marketing Las Vegas because I know this has an enhancement. So that's page 1, page 2. Yep. All right, so I didn't hit first page yet. So that's upsetting. All right, so that's that. So I'm on page 2. And then here's another just a piece of info. So when we had our small competition, I'm ranking number 11 now. These guys have been here forever, but what I'm getting at is this. A couple people asked within today's text or talk about the duplicate content, and they're seriously worried. This page, and I do feel I'm going to break first page pretty soon here. I don't know how long it's been. I guess, I don't know, like, I was disqualified because I had an older domain or whatnot, but then I found out that it was fine because it was dropped. Anyway, so I re-optimized. So it's been probably about, we'll say, 60 days. So in 60 days since I went in and optimized my page, I've hit number 11 now. Now, what I'm getting at is this, to answer everybody that was asking me about this duplicate content. This page, ranking number 11, is 87.6% duplicate content. And not just any duplicate content, like not little pieces. I mean literally copy, paste content. I copied it, I pasted it. And then what I did is I went in and I optimized the content. I went in and I figured out how many optimized sections do I need, right? Where's the variations? And if you take a look here, like just what I teach and what I tell people is what I do, right? So I went in here and I figured out, okay, how many optimized sections are there? Sections meaning header tags, okay? And then I figured out how many images do I need, and then how many images are optimized. I followed the same formula. These images are literally copy pasted from the #1 ranker for the primary keyword, okay? Any case, what I'm getting at too is this. This is 87% duplicated content, copy paste content. Then I re-optimized it. Secondly, with that leading, then I just picked one. Digital marketing jobs, which is a lead H2. So digital marketing Las Vegas. I scrolled down and I just picked one. See? Digital marketing jobs. See? I just literally picked one to be semantic. See it? Bam. All right, so what I'm getting at is this. I want to showcase this, that the duplicate content doesn't matter. And if I were to build links to this, other than the links that somebody tried to negative SEO me or whatever, I don't know, somebody gave me 4,000 X-rated and pharmacy links. I don't know why. But that's the only links that I built really, other than 24 that were gifted to me. But anyway, so that answers that question about the duplicate. Like, this is copy paste content, and it doesn't matter. And if you read it, it's not very well written. I literally, and I talk about this all the time. When you're creating pages over and over again, you want to make it semantically related. So what did I do? I literally went onto here and I figured out what are the biggest cities near Las Vegas or in Nevada. I went over to Wikipedia, I copied, I pasted them, and I put them right into here. And I was like, okay, this is semantically related. Then I went and got all the bolded words and I added them up here. So the word companies, agencies, the word jobs, you see? Anything that was bolded on the page, I made sure it was at the top of the page. All right, so that covers that question. Now let's get into what I mean by creating SERP features or targeting keywords. So let's go over here, and we got to find a good one. So let's go to organic research. No. Keyword. Actually, no, let's go here. I don't want to show that. Let's pick a niche. What's our niche? Let's do catering, right? Let's do catering. So catering. What's the biggest city? All right, so catering, so that's fine. Let's just pick catering. Copy. Paste. Analyze. I have to get rid of this out of my mouth. Give me 1 second. Let's go down here. I'm going to take a look at these quick. I haven't used these other little pieces down here, like the notes and stuff. I don't know, maybe I should start clicking around on some of those one of these days. I think that's interesting that I haven't used those all the little extras. Maybe I should start. I'm not sure. Maybe I will. All right. Now, all right, so I guess I need to make a new video. So let's go over here. Let's go to YouTube. I'm going to basically make another video in a video, all right? And this is going to talk about, what should I call it? Let's look for a keyword. I'm going to take you through my process, I guess. So it's YouTube Video SEO. I think that has big search volume. Yeah, video SEO. So what's next? How about local SEO using video? I like that better. All right, so that's probably what we'll name it. Okay, so that's fine. All right. All right, so I guess it's going to be, all right. So we're going to start a new video. Hey, if you guys want to join me, that's fine, but I'm basically going to make another video in this video because I need a video for something. And this is what I want to share, so that's what we're going to do. And that's what we're going to do. All right, so we're going to start over. Hello there, my name is Chris Palmer, and in today's local SEO video, I want to share with you how you can get more traffic by utilizing YouTube videos. So I want to walk you through a process, a step-by-step formula, a guide that will certainly help your business moving into 2021. So as we go through this process, you're going to need a couple of things. Now, these couple of things, or assets is what I like to call them, are going to be, first and foremost, you're going to need a website. Aside from that, you're going to need content based around particular keywords, and we're going to touch more on this in a moment. But let's get a new piece of paper here so we can write this down. So we're going to need one, keywords that have SERP features. All right, so that's going to be the very first step. Now, to find these particular keywords that we can start gaining more traffic utilizing YouTube videos, we're going to use a tool, and you could use any tool, but I like Semrush. So Semrush, for this particular aspect of it, is going to be looking for features that are going to include video. Now, I'm going to walk you through step by step how we can take these features and start targeting keywords that allow video so we can get some quick wins and some quick traffic. So here's what I mean. We're going to first come up with our keywords that have SERP features. 2, we're going to build playlists based around our business. 3, have YouTube channel. These are in no particular order. For our brand, so we're going to have the keywords that have SERP features. 2, we need to build the playlists. Whoop, we spelled that wrong. We better make sure we have it right. So we're going to build playlists based around our business. We're going to have a YouTube channel for our brand, right? And these are all very powerful aspects. So we need the keywords that have the SERPs, build playlists around our brand, business, or service. 3, have a YouTube channel for our brand. 4 is a website with pages based on SERP features, okay? And we'll talk about these as I go through. So let's not waste any time. I'll get right into the video. So this is exactly what I would be doing and taking into consideration. Now, we're going to use a seed set or a seed keyword inside of Semrush, and the seed set keyword is going to be catering. Now, our main aspect or our main focus is going to be which SERPs have a SERP feature allocating a video. Now, the reason why we want to do this is because we want to be able to create a video based around a keyword and showcase our business inside the search engine results page. Now, I want you to take a for instance here. On this page for Digital Marketing Las Vegas, I want you to take this into account because when we're setting up our video, this is exactly what I want you to do. So take a look here. If we go Digital Marketing Las Vegas, we take a look at the image. I want you to see the image that I used. Now, you can do any variation of this, and this is also known as a thumbnail on YouTube. So the thumbnail needs to contain a primary keyword of the keyword that we're targeting. Why? Because Google reads the text inside of images. So that's going to be step 1. Step 2, the title of it is going to contain the keyword, but the image itself will have the keyword, the location, our website, and the phone number. Now, I'd probably make the phone number big in this instance, if that's your main focus, or if your main focus is getting them to the website, make sure that it's big enough that they could see it without clicking on anything at all. We want this to be a SERP feature. Now, let me show you this photo here of what I mean by a SERP feature, and then we'll talk more about it. So if we search for digital marketing Las Vegas, okay, and we take a look here, this is what I mean by a SERP feature. We want search engine results pages that will allow a video to pop up, kind of like this one here. As I showcased before, it's very big, it's easy to see. You want this to be bigger, more blatant, whether it's website, whether it's a phone number, the keyword. You want to make it blatantly obvious directly from the search engine results page. Now, why I like Semrush is they make this so easy. If you take a look at the tool, when I put in my primary keyword and I'm trying to decide, hey, what should I be making some new content on? I want to base content that allows the SERP feature of a video. So we come right into here. We want to go to advanced filters. We're going to go to SERP features, and we're going to select image pack. No, I want a video, baby. I want that video. I guess that would be considered a, it's an interesting aspect. I wonder, let's go take a look at this really fast. Actually, now that we think about this, let's go take a look at this and let's see how the data is correlating. Because that's an interesting observation by me. Let's take a look at this quick. So SERP features. Let's go for the image and even a carousel. All right, why not? Now let's go ahead and apply this. And catering food ideas. Let's copy this, and we know that this is going to allow us to have a SERP feature. Okay, so it's popping a SERP. I guess this is my carousel. Man, I want video though. Man, oh man, I want video. I don't just want, man, I thought there was a click here. Maybe am I missing something here? Dude, I just looked at this. I was looking at this morning. As I was thinking about making a video for this. See, now I'm going to have to redo my video because I'm going to want to try this for something else. Now I'm going to have to redo it. Digital marketing. I guess I could just edit. Let's go digital marketing Las Vegas. We want to take away any advanced features. Yeah, why can't I only show... Man, I thought it was in here when I looked this morning. I see it here, but I thought it was in my advanced SERP features. And what did I don't get it. Why won't it let me choose that here? That's what I want to know. Boy, I did this morning, and I'll tell you a background. So this morning I'm looking for consulting. So consulting areas near me. And because I want to build some pages out for myself. And so I was looking, I'm like, hey, I want to target a lot of pages that contain a video. And yes, I was looking over here for this aspect of it, but I don't, and this is fine. And this is what I was doing. I was just going in here and checking them, and then I was exporting my list, which is cool. But I could have swore when I put that baby in here that it was here. And I think that that's very interesting. Huh. Well, let's go back. Let's, I guess we'll have to redo this because I want it to be smooth, and I thought it would be here because it's here. You see, because they have it here, but I want it here. Maybe I'm missing something, and I'm not a Semrush expert by any stretch of the imagination. You know, I often not consult, but I often ask Craig. I'll message him and I'll say, "Hey, Craig, can I do this?" And he'll be like, "Yeah, click this, add this, do that." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, thanks, dude." So, I'm not as Semrush expert, but I am a let's get some video pack results expert because I really, really like the strategy and I think it's super helpful. I would think that there's a faster way to add that in here. So what I love about these guys is this. I'm gonna come right over here and I'm gonna send some of this feedback and I'm gonna say, why is the video SERP feature not in the advanced, wait, is it this one? Yeah. And this is why I love these guys, right? And this is why I made the switch from Ahrefs, right? Because they will answer me and they will say, hey, we can take care of it. It's not a problem. This is cool. We'll just add a box. No problem. And that's why I like these guys a lot better. I would message, I've worked with other companies. You know, I started with Moz. I moved to Ahrefs because everybody was using it. I used Majestic forever. And then recently when I started seeing a lot of people, I'm like, man, I just like this for content. I started using these guys and I started asking questions and they were answering me. So I like them. But anyway, why is the video SERP feature not in the advanced filters tab? That's what I want to know. We're going to send that in and they're going to say thank you. Okay. And then I'll get an email back. But anyway, maybe I shouldn't add that in the video. I don't know. So yeah, let's do that. Aside from this, let's come back over here and we'll do one. You need a website. I'm doing this live, but whatever. It doesn't matter. If you guys want to hang out with me, it's cool, but I'm setting up for a video. I want it to be smooth, right? Sometimes it takes me 2 takes. I'm human, right? So website, 2, YouTube channel for brand, 3, playlist for state, city, towns. All right. 4, find keywords with video ed enhancement. And 5, build pages around keywords with video enhancement. And then 5A is going to be or add videos to pages that have video SERPs. All right. And I think that this could be utilized across the board. You know, whatever the enhancement is, I'm going to start adjusting my strategy. And I think that this is helpful for anybody. So I want to deep dive into this. So I'm going to come back over here and I'm going to go into, man, there's some things I just don't want to share. So I'm live streaming here. Okay. So let's come over here. We'll switch the account and we'll go to, Christopher Palmer. All right, this is still running. We're all good over here. Okay, good. So we'll just come over here, and we'll go into YouTube Studio because I want to be able to share this, or maybe I should walk through it step by step. Yeah. That's what I'll do. All right, so that's what I'll do. I'll just walk through for people so they can figure this out. Okay, we'll go back to the channel. That's what I'll do. That'll be the most helpful, so that way the video is super helpful. That's what I want to do. Okay, so we'll leave this here for ideas. So when I'm talking, all right, so digital marketing, Las Vegas. See, you guys are, this is how I come up with, I'm like, hey, I'm doing this. I want to show them this, right? This is what I do. I do this every day. I come up with something that can be helpful, and then I make a video. And this is my process, literally. This would be the behind the scenes. This is how I set stuff up. This is my thought process, right? I'm like, yeah, I always do that. And then the way I have my windows open, like every single thing I do, it's always like, how can this be helpful to the end person? That's all that matters. It's all that ever matters, man. Right? I think that saying your network determines your net worth isn't just monetary. It's how many people you help will determine the fruitfulness of your life. It is so true. And think about your business. The more people that you can help with their problems, the better you are in your business. Is that not true? It's so true. It just rings. You know, the more people I can help, the better off I am. And I think it's just like a karma thing, you know, like, oh man, it's so deep. But anyway, I love you guys. Sticking with me here. I'll answer some questions and we'll redo the video. I messed up, so what? We move on. So hey Chris, is there anything alternative to building citations for a recipe site that has nothing to do with local? If I had a recipe site, I would be dead focused on I like video, I like image, and I would focus on schema. So those three aspects that have nothing to do with local or citations are going to be some of the focused elements that I would be taking care of. So kind of like what we're talking about now, it's kind of funny, but I'd be looking at other ways that I can get in there, right? So my photos, my imagery, like, you know, colors that pop, yellows and oranges and reds, you know, that could be backgrounds with text on the photos. Like, I would be playing all cards. So that's my best advice for you for a recipe. I actually worked with a, not a company, but it was a young lady, not a young lady. She was actually an elderly lady, but she was great, right? Mentally very young. So anyway, she made a cookbook, but it wasn't just a cookbook. It's a cookbook for children, right? And it was super cool. Like, how does Johnny make, you know, Play-Doh? You know, like, okay, you take the cornstarch or whatever it is, and then he does this and he does that, and it was really cool. It was unique. I loved it. It was for kids, so I loved it even more. That was it, right? I was like, I'll help you. No problem, and I'll do it for half price. All right, I just want to see you win. Anyway, it kind of comes back to this, but that was some of the steps. Like, we were making photos. I took care of her schema, obviously, but those are the aspects I'd be looking at for your instance, right? Hopefully that helps you. Let me go down this list. Let's bang these out, and then we'll jump into the video. Yeah, I only saw it in the SERP features. Yeah, isn't that interesting, Mr. Mindsaw? You know, and I'm gonna talk to I'm gonna message them again. Hopefully, we could get that taken care of. There's a couple things that I want to add, because I want this to be I want it to be an all-around tool. Right? If I'm gonna pay my money every month, right? Which I don't mind at all, right? Data costs money. I understand that. But I wish it would just cater to the local guys just a little bit better, right? Just a little bit better. But man, Mindsaw, great to see you. Hey Chris, is Semrush better than Ahrefs? It's not a matter of, I think it's a matter of preference. For me, I've been leaning more towards Semrush. One of the reasons why I switched is because I was able to get a significant discount recently, right? You know, when they had their sales, you know, I was able to get a good deal. For me, I like that I can. Their customer support is top notch. You know, I've had trouble in the past with Ahrefs. Secondly, to be quite frank, I tried to outreach and work with Ahrefs, never a response. I've done the same with Semrush, and at least they communicated with me, right? They're just more response. Their response time is better. They're better. They're just better for me, and it's just an opinion. I'm not saying one's better than the other. For me, Chris Palmer, I'm a Semrush guy. That's the angle I'm going, you know. So, but you can make your own decision, you know. But if we're looking at hard facts and data, Ahrefs has the backlink data. You know, if we're looking at a lot of other aspects and we start taking into consideration, you know, keyword data and content marketing and the, you know, just a lot of factors, but a big one is customer support. You know, I like Semrush, you know, and everybody's different, but it's up to you at the end of the day. I can't pronounce your name. I'm not even going to try. It's up to you, brother. So you can scroll further down under the SERP filter. Yeah, no, I've, again, I'm not a pro with just this tool, I know a little about a lot, right? But, I just don't see it in here. When I come in here, we go to our advanced features. It should be right inside of here, and I'm just curious of why it's not here. Now, when I was doing my research this morning, specifically for consulting, right, I did notice it here, which is fine, and I knew it was here. That's why I started making the video. I knew it was here, but I figured it would just be up here. So, with that being said, it doesn't matter. It's still here, and it's still a viable option, and we're going to redo the video. I'm going to walk through the entire process because I think it'll be helpful for everybody. If I went and took you, I'm not going to because I have other assets attached to it, but if I went and showed you the traffic, the traffic that I get, and it helps my business drastically, right? I've done it for stationary companies. I've done it for a plethora of different companies, right? The goal here and what I'm saying is I think it'll be helpful for your business, and that's why I want to share it. So let me see if there's any other questions here. And Chase said, I wouldn't say it because I'm not like that, but Chase said it, and I 100% agree with what Chase said, without any shadow of a doubt. I agree. I don't ever like to, I would never, but I agree with him. Yes, I do agree with him. So yeah, Chase, good to see you, man. Is that advanced SERP feature list you can scroll down? Yeah. It's yeah, we got it going on. It's right here. I mean, it's within the filters. I mean, we've covered this a couple times now, I didn't see it. I see video carousel. Did I miss it the first time? Is that what you're saying? Did I miss it? Get out of there. Did I just miss it, guys? Is that what you guys are saying? Is that why you guys are yelling at me? Chris, it's there. You just missed it. Please click it. Any SERP features? Did I just miss it the first time? Yeah, I see the carousel, but I don't see it. Maybe. Oh, you know what it is? It's probably my mouse is going too fast. Here, let's drag it down. Let's do it this way. Dun da da dun. Yo, and I already sent them the message. They're gonna be like, it's there, sir. Excuse me, Mr. Palmer. It's there. It's number 13. If you take your mouse horizontally, longitude 12 on your screen, right? That's how these guys talk, and I really like that too. Like, they'll break it down for me. One time I was harassing them about the traffic analytics, right? I was messaging them like nonstop, and they sent me a video. They were like, no, it's here. The information's here, sir. They're like breaking it down. Like, I didn't see the guy's face, but the way he was talking was great. They literally sent me a video. So these guys are cool, man. The Semrush guys are definitely cool. And gals, there's girls there too. It's not a guy-gal thing. It's just, and the way I always correct myself is because early on when I was teaching, I always wanted to be a teacher. Right? But anyway, when I was early on, I used to always refer to gentlemen. And if I look at my analytics, I do know that 97% of the people that, watch me and the information are men, but there is a sliver of women that watch. So I want to be mindful to everybody. But anyway, again, I will highlight that Chase said it very well here. I mean, he just has a way with words. He said it right on point here. Does Chris even read the chat box? Yeah, I'm reading it. I'm reading it there. All the games. You can scroll further down in the SERP filter. Yeah. I must have just went over it. To be quite frank, usually when I'm just doing any type of research, I'm just looking here. I just look at this. So, but we're gonna still make the video and walk through, and it'll be a lot of fun. But I always love, I always love this type of dialogue here, and I appreciate it immensely. In the advanced SERP features, you can scroll down, which I did in my mouse. When I scroll, it must have just went whoop. Thank you all. I'm a sliver of the women that watch, but I don't get offended if you say guys. Thanks, Sherry. We've all done it. Yeah, definitely. All right, so let's redo the video. That's my goal here. Because my objective is to make a secondary video, and that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna do it in here, right? This channel has nothing to do with really anything. I was putting videos here for I was putting them here for something, right? And Sesame Street, Holly Starks, and Leon Lush. Wow, what a lineup on this channel. Oh, it's funny. All right, so I guess we'll start from the top. What we're going to do is we're going to do catering, right? We're going to use that as our objective. Man, I hope that there are some. Okay, so let's just start from the top. And we'll just start over as if we're making a video. So let's check the audio here because it's been peaking. I notice it popping. Hello? Yeah, let's turn this down a little bit. Hello, hello. Hello. There you go. That's good. That looks good. That's looking good. All right, we looking good here? Good. Good, good, good. All right. Let's come over here, and then we're just gonna restart this. Anybody? Sunday fun day grind. Salute to you, Chase. Okay, how are you? I'm doing good. Ha ha ha. All right, so we're good to go. Let's redo this video. We'll start from the very beginning, and that's what we're gonna do. Because I could do whatever I want. My son says that to me now. Chris, what are you doing? Whatever I want. No, you can't do whatever you want. Anyway. All right, so let's come over here. Let's take a drink. Ready? Hello there, my name is Chris Palmer, and in today's local SEO video, I'd like to share with you how you can start getting more traffic from video search results. So this video, I will walk you through step by step exactly how you can start getting more traffic by utilizing SERP features that allow you to showcase videos for your keywords, your brand, your services, pretty much everything. So let's get into this step-by-step video. I don't want to waste any time, and I've already went ahead and made a list here. So if you take a look here at my list that I've had to redo before we started this video, and I came up with number 1 being that you need a website. Number 2, you will need a YouTube channel, and I recommend having a YouTube channel that is based around your brand. Now, 3 is going to be a playlist, and your playlists are, and I'm going to walk you through this, so please stick with me. The playlists need to be based on either state, city, or town. As you start growing your channel, you could start basing it on keywords, but that's one of the fastest ways to get your YouTube channel getting the kibosh on the old YouTube channel. You don't want to seem spammy. I think it's best to, base the playlists and your verbiage within the YouTube videos itself around the keywords, but make it as natural as possible. Aside from that is I have number 4, you're going to need to find videos with video enhancement. I will walk you through that step by step. And number 5 is build the pages around keywords. Let's redo this because I have a better way. So let's, boy, I'm doing it live. That's a bad idea, huh? Now you guys know how many times I redo these, huh? All right. Hello there, my name is Chris Palmer, and in this local SEO video, I'd like to share with you a step-by-step process on how you can start getting more traffic from video search results. So I want to walk you through a 5-step process, step by step. I'll even take you to the YouTube channels. I'll take you to the SERPs so you can get a grasp and an understanding on how you can start getting more traffic by utilizing this video strategy. Now, I've actually mapped out a step-by-step process 1 through 5, starting with your website, your YouTube channel, playlists, how to find the keywords that matter, building out the pages so you can get more traffic, and 5A, also adding the videos to pages that are already existing, and I'll also give you some tips and tricks to keep your YouTube channel safe. So let's start off with number 1, website. This is almost self-explanatory. I think that it's very helpful to have a website that you can add videos to and start bringing in traffic, but it's not necessary for gaining traffic from YouTube videos. Secondly, the YouTube channel. For this example, I will share with you another YouTube channel that I have. Now, the other YouTube channel that I have is just based around fun stuff. I just use it to surf the web, but I will walk you through the process here. But I want you to take a look. When you're filling out or creating your channel, I would base the channel name, which is here, around your brand. So I think that having a branded asset is not only a good idea overall for your social fortress, meaning like Facebook and Twitter, but having a YouTube channel based around your actual brand, your industry is very, very helpful for solidifying your social fortress. So we will make this a brand entity. We'll create and fill out all of the details, your about, every single piece, every aspect, fill it out, make it brand centric. Aside from that, if we take a look at our notes here, number 3, I'll show you how to create playlists for the state, and let me go ahead and show you that now. So the very first thing that you're going to want to do, quite simply, is once you're here, all you have to do is once you've filled out your details, created your account, you're going to come inside of here. You're going to go to your YouTube studio once you have a verified YouTube channel. You'll click on YouTube Studio, which is on the right-hand side, and then click on Playlists. Now, I would just go ahead and set this up so it's easier once you're creating your videos to start adding the videos to the playlist. So the playlists would be as follows. One of the very first ones I would do is I would do whatever state that I'm around. So let's just say if it's PENNSYLVANIA, right? If I'm in Pennsylvania, so we could do one that's based around Pennsylvania dentist, or for this instance, it's catering, right? This is just a channel. Now, obviously, you're going to want to, or this is a playlist, and this is a name. It's just going to segment the videos. It's just another opportunity for you to get more. Look at it like this. If you're looking at a website, they have their category pages and then they're listing all of their locations. It's the same for your YouTube channel. You have your top level page. It's, hey, I'm Pennsylvania and I'm doing this. And then underneath it is my supporting content. It's the same for videos. So you could look at it like that. This is my top level category page and the videos are my supporting content. Now let's go ahead and move on. We're going to go right in here to number 4. So this is finding keywords with video enhancement. So one of the things that I like to do very simply is utilize a tool called Semrush. So Semrush makes this ultra easy. There's multiple tools that do this, but they make it pretty simple. Now, if you take a look, we're going to utilize a key phrase, very broad or a large keyword, and we're just going to simplify it by putting in catering. Now, you can do this with any keyword, but we're going to start with catering. Now, what we're looking for individually is going to be video enhancements. So video enhancements, if you're not sure, is just like over here. A video enhancement is any search engine results page that includes a video. So what we're looking for is keywords. So for this example, digital marketing Las Vegas, this has a search engine results enhancement of video. So as you can see, I have one here from a recent fun little contest that we did. But what I want you to look at is this. Here's the video enhancement. And there's a certain way that I want you to create your thumbnails. Now, the thumbnails for your channel, let's say that we're going to create a video, all right? The thumbnails, I want you to make the layout just like this here. So as you can see, I've added the primary keyword that I'm targeting. So what's my video about? What's my industry? What's my website or my phone number? Google can read the text. So put your keyword on the page, put your website on the page, put your phone number on the page. Now, whatever you're trying to do, whatever your overall goal is, if you want phone calls, make the phone number big. If you want people to go to your site, make the website big. Seems simple, but hey, it's a step that's usually often overlooked. And to be honest with you, most people won't even go over to the video. The goal is to see it, and they click it. So that thumbnail aspect is very, very crucial. Let me go in and show you how you should set up the videos. So we're going to go ahead and just use this example right here. Why not? So let me take you over here to this video. And then as you can see, there's a couple aspects in here. So if you take a look here, the location I filled out, the details. So when you have your main keyword, it's Las Vegas Digital Marketing Agency, and then I put my brand name. You can set that up in any format that you want, but make sure that you're leading with the keyword that's most important. And if you want to end with your brand, usually a good idea. Now, aside from that, I've used sentiment plus the keyword in those first couple words, and I've also made the association utilizing a link or a URL. Now, to take it one step further, what I did is by creating these little timestamps, also known as video schema, I was able to use the keywords over and over and over again on the page. Plus, Google looks at this as an extra emphasis. So this is how I want you to set up your pages. First, thumbnail. Secondly, I want you to come in here, add the geolocation. And if you're curious of how this is done, let's go ahead and do a quick example. So once you upload a video, when you press this plus button, you'll upload your video. You will then be led to a screen that looks very similar to this right here. Now, once I'm on this video, I want to first put my keyword, and then I want to put my brand name, right? After that, this one is for a different project, so don't just take this into consideration. But the very next thing is in my description, the first thing that I want to do is I want to repeat exactly what I have here and add a sentiment word. So the sentiment word that I would suggest you use is type in one of your keywords, look at the SERP, the search engine results page. Are people using the word best? Are they using the word top? Are they using the word superior or any other word like that? Whatever they're using in the SERP, you use it in your video. Don't use it up here because this is a key factor, but down here, perfectly fine. Now, included within these details, we also want to include, of course, our website. That should be first. We're also going to include our name, address, phone number. And if you want to be a little sly, you can also throw in your Google My Business short link. That's up to you. But a key element that a lot of people miss are breaking down these video schemas. So how you do it is you have to start with 0:00 and then in parentheses put whatever keyword you want. And what will show up is something very similar to this. It'll play, and then you will have these search enhancements within Google search, like it'll break down the video. And if you go look at the source code, they're looking at this a little bit differently. It's so important. That's why I'm really hammering on this fact. Put these in here because as you can see, look at up here. See how it says the words with whatever I typed within the actual video? Trust me, add this in. Starts with 00. It has to start with 00 and then just fill it in. So I've talked about that enough. Now let's go back over here to filling out the details. So we're going to do our title with our brand name. We're going to put our description. Then we're going to add our video schema. Okay. But first we're going to have our website URL. Okay. So website URL, our name, address, phone number, our Google link, right? Google shortcode link. And then we're going to add our video schema. Now, if you don't want to go through this entire process every single time, then limit the amount of video SERPs that you're going to target. So when you're pulling out your video, which we're going to start talking about this, search engine results that allow video, just limit the amount if you don't want to go through the process. But this process is the one that will allow the most success. This is the way that it is very, very helpful. I'm walking you through it now. So we're going to add this keyword again. We'll put a short description, our website URL, our NAP, our Google link, and then our video schema. You know, this kind of stuff is old school. I put it in here. I was testing it out, but if you scroll down here to the bottom, you'll see that I was putting my stacks in here. You don't need to go through all this, but what I'm talking about up here is crucial for the video's ranking and getting a little bit more success. Now, aside from that, the next step is when you're filling this out, you remember how I said in the very beginning we're going to create those playlists with the state? Why you want to do that first is because then when you're creating your videos, you can just click on this and add them right into the playlist that you have created. So if you're targeting a state or a particular city, just add them right into the bucket. Like, remember, that's your top level content, and then underneath it is your supporting content. So it's my top level category page, which is going to be my playlist. Underneath it is my supporting videos. Why do we want the playlist, Chris? Because when you go and you share, you want to share the entire playlist library. Okay, so if anybody does land on it, the videos start, it's more powerful. So trust me, utilize this. Let's move on. The next step after that is you want to fill all of these details out. So this is no age restrictions, going to be no unless you're doing something dodgy. Inside of here, you can leave this directly how it is. Inside of your tags, whatever you used up here, all right, whatever your primary is here, and whatever you used inside your video schema. So it's your primary keyword and variations of your keyword. That's what I would add down here. I would add that right in and then break it down. So if you were doing catering, it's catering plus city, city plus catering. I would just add it right in here just like that. And you want to make at least 7 tags based around this. You have to have at least 7, okay? Now, moving on down the list here, video, you want to fill this out. Video is your language. Captions, you want to make sure you fill this out. You want to fill out each and every detail. You want it to be as easy as possible for Google to understand and index your video. The next step is this, recording date. You can fill that in, and then here is your location. Wherever you are trying to target, even if your business is somewhere else, whatever you're trying to target. So say if I'm in a primary state, but I made a video for my keyword plus a small city or town, that's exactly what I'm going to put here. I'm going to put my small city or town / state. Reason being is because it's an enhancement within YouTube, and it's going to show up inside of the video. And here's what I mean. So see up here, bam. So you have 2 things you can put right here. You can either put hashtags, which I don't really like for local, or you could go down to the bottom and add that geo modifier, which is inside of here, and it'll show up here. So if you use hashtags, they'll show up here. If you use the geolocation, it'll show up here. My advice, put the locations in that particular place. Now, next, after that, after you fill out all of these details, the next step is your category. Whatever makes sense to you, you can fill it out. As you can see, it didn't really matter for me. If it's for commercial intent-based stuff, I turn the comments off, but it is completely up to you. You can turn them on. It doesn't necessarily affect ranking within SERPs, all right? If you want to add some bonus stuff or add more links or do more stuff, you can, but then you run, you run some risk. It's completely up to you for the comments. Commercial, I turn them off. So that is how you're going to go ahead and fill these details out. Now let's go into how we can utilize SEMrush for finding some of these keywords. So once we're inside of here, we have our primary up here. We're going to do a big broad match search within Semrush. After that, we want to go to our advanced filters. We want to go to our SERP features, and however your mouse is set, make sure you're scrolling slowly because you can roll right over it. So let's go here. You want to scroll on down because I was doing it the hard way, and you don't want to do it the hard way. Use this here instead of looking at each and every one over here under SERP features. Just add it in here. So we're just going to check the video, okay, and then we're going to press enter or apply. So now our objective is this. Once we have utilized our tool to figure out, okay, which SERP results are allowing a video for what keywords? So we need to go through our list here and figure out, do I have content based around this particular aspect? So do I have a page on catering food ideas? If not, maybe I might want one. But if I do, I'm going to create my video based around this keyword. Why? Because it has a search engine results page feature. It's an added enhancement. There's an opportunity for a video to pop up. But every single time you find one, it's very good because you're probably not going to do hundreds or thousands. It's a good idea to take a look at this and see if it's on the first page. You see? So we would take a look at this and see, hey, is it on the first page? Or is it on the second page? Because we want ones that are popping up towards the top. So that's the next step. We need to see if I'm adding this enhancement or if I'm going through the trouble, is it actually showing up on the first page? So our very next step on this list is going to be find the keywords with video enhancements. So like I mentioned before, we're going to go inside of Semrush or whatever tool you really like. We're going to do our primary search and we're looking for keywords that we already have on our websites or ones that make sense for our content marketing strategy that we can build content around with also video. And we want to develop a plan. Start small and then scale. So maybe build out 5 pages or 4 pages. Or I would first, like I mentioned, double check and see if you already have content that you can start making videos on. Because if you want, it's very, very easy to create a video. You don't need to get fancy. You can use, Windows Movie Maker, and you can make thumbnails in Paint Shop or whatever you have free, all free. Make 10 photos, make a photo deck slide. You can get Movie Maker or whatever tool you have for video makers, and you can stack the thumbnails. You can just stack the thumbnails and make a video. And then you follow the step-by-step process like I mentioned before. Creating the video, adding this exact process here. And then the last piece is just what we talked about. Adding the videos to pages that have the videos in the SERPs. Create the pages or add it to pages that I already have that have a SERP feature of a video. So that is pretty much going to wrap up the strategy. As you expand this strategy, as you grow it out, you're going to create and again, this is just an example for catering, but you're going to create your playlists, you're going to create your videos underneath that. You're only creating videos or adding videos to pages that allow the SERP result feature to pop up. Again, don't miss the step of looking at the SERP and seeing if it's a first page feature or if it's out in oblivion. Okay, so I definitely hope that this has been helpful for you and your business. My name is Chris Palmer. If you have any further questions related to local SEO, video SEO, or anything related to SEO, digital marketing, Facebook ads, Google My Business, really, anything at all, always feel free to go ahead and leave it in the comments below or reach out 570-810-1080. And I always look forward to seeing you in the next local SEO. How to get increased traffic from video. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye. That was fun. That was a lot of fun. I hope that made sense to everybody. Was that fun? I love this job. I wish this was my only job. I wish I could just do this every day. You know what I mean? Like, I like getting calls, and I like, talking to because I have 2 main clients, right? And we have forever going problems and issues, and it's maintenance, and I have a retainer. I have 2 main clients that have a lot of properties that I work on every day. And I love that, and that pays the bills, right? But what I really, really love is teaching, training, and finding new opportunities, new ideas. That's my favorite. I want to be able to spend time learning and then teaching what I've learned. Learn, test it out, teach it. It's a lot of fun, and I'm super blessed, and I hope that I'm able to help more people as time goes on. But we're going to wrap up these last questions, and then I'm going to hop off. We've been going way longer than I thought. So that's going to be my objective. It's been a pleasure. I'm just happy I had the time to do this. Yesterday was little Chris's birthday. He turned 3. So he's got not only the Christmas toys, but now he's got yesterday's toys. So it's snowing outside. I don't know. You guys probably can't see it, but it's snowing. So you know what I want to do, right? What I've learned about little Chris is he doesn't really like the cold that much. So what I'm going to do is I bought him my wife and I, we got him this Nike snowsuit thing, right? With these big gloves. This like hat. He just looks like a little bulldog, right? So I'm going to see if I can get him to go outside with me because it's snowing pretty good. So that's my plan. I'm going to answer these questions, and then I call it, little Chris duty, right? Or, that's what we're going to do. It's just playtime. And I'm excited for it. I love doing it. It's my second favorite thing, to do other than, snuggle buddy time. When it's like we lay down, we, watching movies and just hanging out with each other. I call it snuggle buddy time, right? I'm sure you guys have your own names with your family and friends, or maybe not friends. But let's go through here. How are you? I'm blessed, man. I'm doing so good, Prasada. You know, I'm doing good. Things are good. Things are looking up. My karma level is at an all-time high right now. You know, revolutions, right? It's good in, good out. Good in, good out. Good in, good out. And it took me a long time to come to this realization in my life, you know? So I'm doing very good. Thank you for asking. Steven says, hey, Chris, are you hiring VAs? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I have multiple projects that I'm working on. I had a young lady that was working with me, and she was doing very, very well. And then I started recruiting more and more people. I do have somebody that helps me directly right on. I've learned early on, not saying don't work with family, but it gets things messed up. So, you know, I have one particular person that takes care of a lot of stuff. She's like my main helper, but I do need 2 other people, at least one other person that they can work together on projects. So yeah, if you are, you know, it's, you know, straight at scale SEO, right? And I also have side projects that I do, like, you know, helping me with, you know, messages and emails and just a lot of stuff, right? So if you're down with being an all-in-one and you can manage other people and get jobs done, you know, I just want to be able to log in, give the tasks for the day, and know that it's going to be done, you know? So if you're that guy or that girl, message me. Give me a call right now, 570-810-1080. Call me. I'll answer. I'll answer right now. So yeah. Moving down the list here, I sent an email to you, but you didn't respond to it. Depends on the email that you send it to. I have a lot of emails. If you go to the page now, I'm in the process of setting up a autoresponder so I can get people to the channels and filtered through the channels that actually matter. My objective now is setting up my autoresponder, how I do with my, like I'm going to set it up just like I would for a client, so that way the email sequence is perfect. They sign up, they get an automatic email that allows me to go through the whitelist because I want them to message me back. When they message me back, it's going to be, what are you asking about? A lot of messages I get, a lot of messages are just, hey, how are you? What's going on? Or, you know, just random stuff, which is pleasant and I don't mind it, but it needs to be, hey, what is it? Do you need help with a problem? Do you need consulting? Do you need a training program? Do you want a one-on-one session? Do you want to join my group sessions? How can I help you? Is this an intake? I wanted to automate that and get right to the point. So that's my goal. So if you send a message, especially in probably the past 7 days, I'm working out a few things. So yeah. So what's up? Hey, hasta la vista, boss. What's up, boss? What's up with you? Hopefully you had a good new year. Hello, everybody. Happy New Year. Great to have you on, and I hope that everybody did have a great new year. Hello, Chris. Hello, everyone. And everybody's welcoming each other. That's great. That's what I'd like to see. Aren't we multitasking? Busy with feeding my baby while we're learning some cool stuff from Chris. Yes, that's the best. That's the goal. And what I really want is, and I'd like some feedback here for anybody that's listening or is typing. I want to move more towards, you know, very affordable group training that will be 2 to 3 times a week, right? For a lot of time, so I can get to each person, right? For very low cost on a monthly basis, right? What I want to know is, if we did a group coach, would you follow a criteria? Like, here's what we're going to talk about, and if you want anybody within the group, I can help you with, you know, page audits. I can help you with speed. I could help you with anything, right? Doesn't matter. Now, my goal is this. Do you think that it would be better to have a guided or just do like a normal group coaching session where it's, Okay, today, okay, you have the floor. It's your time. What can I help you with? And then we learn from the questions and the answers. You know, we're all working together. It's a group. It's a community, basically, but it's based around group coaching, me helping and us helping each other. That's the objective, right? Or do you think that a criteria or something that we're following and then you can interject your questions is better? I like the open format, but I'm just curious if anybody has used these services before. I've seen both, and I've seen both work, and I like certain things about both of them. But I seem to like, you know, the dedicated group coaching session better. You know, you have 3 hours a day, 10 people in each session, 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour. That way you can get to everybody. And then it's only coaching for specific problems, not following a criteria or a particular process, you know? I just would like some feedback on that if anybody cares to give it to me. Moving down the list here. Hey, it's another famous YouTuber. I'm not sure of any famous YouTubers. Oh, we're talking about Hasta La Vista Boss. Yeah, he definitely is. Just jumped onto this live late, but hoping to catch the training on the upload. Happy birthday, little Chris. Yep, it was his birthday yesterday. He turned 3. That's what he does. No, he does it like this. I'm 3. He's the man. Yeah, I'm going to go see him in a little bit here. I can't call you because I'm from India and the number is different. Nope, you can call me utilizing I have business WhatsApp. I set that up so I could talk to people internationally. And it's 1-570-810-1080. So 810-1080. All right, so area code's 570. It's 1-570-810-1080. Give me a call. Better give me a text, because if it's just a hello, I will just get those off the table, you know. But anyway, moving down the list here. Steven, add +1 before the number, and you're good to call. Yeah, you can give me a call. No problem. Nor, cheers, brother. Cheers to you. Cheers to everybody. And that sounds good, Chris. So perfect. I think that we're on the up and up here. Yeah, I took about 4 minutes, not 4 minutes, maybe like 10 minutes the other night and fixed a couple things with my landing page. It's still a work in progress, but the main goal is to set up some aspects that matter to me. So I hope that everything was beneficial today. We covered a lot of things. YouTube citations, things along these lines. We talked about a lot. It was an AMA. I hope that it was beneficial. I'm going to go ahead and log off. It's been more than a pleasure helping, serving, being with you today. If you have further questions, ask in the comments section below. If you need help with something, right? If you need, if you need help with anything, reach out to me. Reach out. That's my goal. Primarily consultation. I have no problem helping anybody with anything, as long as it's ethical. Okay, because I get a lot of calls because I make a lot of black hat videos. And please note, I think that there's a difference between black hat SEO and illegal SEO, right? So as long as it's ethical, guys and gals. Thanks for today's class. Yes, it's been a pleasure. Thank you all so much. I'm going to go spend time with my family on this beautiful Sunday. You do the same, hopefully, or get to work. Do whatever you want. Enjoy yourself. I'll see you, everybody, and you, in the next one. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.